This is a follow-up video to some videos I've done earlier last week. I did man versus person, legal versus lawful, and probably be a good idea to maybe watch those videos before watching this video if you haven't seen them yet. This video is titled Two-Dimensional World versus Three-Dimensional World. And I'm not talking about like some outer space thing or sci-fi movie or anything like that. What I'm talking about is the two-dimensional world is the world of paper. It's utilized by the legal system. It actually dates back to Babylon, and it's what the devil uses to enslave man. And Jesus came to set the captives free, and in my seeking out of truth from God, which I've never stopped and I'm going to continue to do, God revealed this truth to me, and He showed me that I don't have to be a slave of a legal society any longer, that He created me in His image, and that He created me to be free, and that all I have to do is choose it and choose to do it, and then I am. So I've done some studying on it, and the beautiful thing about this is, although I've done some extensive research and studying, really it all boils down to just common sense, natural law, common law, the things that God's already set in motion for us. And it's not so much learning that you have to do to understand this, it's unlearning. You have to unlearn the way you've been raised up by a society, public education system, teachers, school, pastors, in many instances our parents, because they were raised this way too. But for the most part, for the past 6,000 years, man understood this stuff, and it's just kind of been forgotten over the past couple hundred years. And so I've had to unlearn a lot of things that I knew and just kind of relearn them. So two-dimensional world is what the legal system utilizes. It's basically your name in all caps on a piece of paper. So for instance, if somebody says, okay, say you're in a court of law and somebody says, are you John Doe? And if you want to put your name there, that's fine. And your immediate response is to say yes. You've just admitted that you're a name on a piece of paper. And now you're in a two-dimensional world. The significance of this is as follows. In a two-dimensional world, you're no longer a man. Okay? In a two-dimensional world, you're not a man. You're not created in the image of God. You don't have dominion over the earth and everything else. You're on a piece of paper. You're an entity on a piece of paper. So once you admit to being that name on a piece of paper, basically you rank down here, and then you have like police officers, you have judges, you have elected politicians, things like that, who outrank you. And then of course in our legal system, at the very top would be like the Supreme Court, president, things like that. However, if you're a man created in the image of God, you rank up here. So you have, God, and then man, and then everything else is under man, because we're in God's image. We're created in the image of God. So man actually created the position of judge, the position of police officer. So when you stand in front of or above or before a judge, and you're a man, you outrank him. If you're a two-dimensional entity, in other words, a man's a three-dimensional entity. If you're an entity on paper, then you're a two-dimensional entity, and now you're outranked by them. And the interesting thing about the legal system is, when the legal system gets control or authority over somebody, it's always voluntary. Every person, because that's what you would be, a person. Every man would relinquish the title of man and take on the title of person, whether it be a defendant, a citizen. There's lots of